Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs. Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs, stylized as Ciʀcle J<silence>δs, are an American hardcore punk band formed in 1979 in Los Angeles, California. The group was founded by former Black Flag vocalist Keith Morris and Red Kross guitarist Greg Hetson. To date, Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs have released 6 studio albums, 1 compilation, a live album, and a live DVD. Their debut album, Group Sex 1980, is considered a landmark of the hardcore genre. The band has broken up and reformed several times, sometimes with different bassists and or drummers. They disbanded for the first time after the release of their 5th album, VI 1987, allowing Hetson to focus on Bad Religion, where he had been a member from 1984 to 2013 full-time. The Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs first reunited in 1994 and released their 6th and last studio album to date, Oddities, Abnormalities and Curiosities, the following year before separating for the second time. The band reunited for the second time in 2001 and spent the next 10 years performing live periodically. This reunion lasted for only one new song, I'm Gonna Live, which was released on their MySpace profile in 2007. Tensions among its members and failed attempts to record the follow-up to Oddities, Abnormalities and Curiosities resulted in the Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs breaking up yet again in 2011. However, the band announced in November 2019 that they will reunite in 2020 to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Group Sex with live shows. Many groups and artists have cited Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs as an influence, including Flea, Anti-Flag, Dropkick Murphys, The Offspring and Pennywise. History. Early days and increasing popularity 1979–1982. Lead vocalist Keith Morris was an original member of Black Flag, co-founding the band with guitarist Greg Hetson and recording the Nervous Breakdown EP with them before suddenly departing the group in December 1979. Morris formed Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs as the Bedwetters along with guitarist Greg Hetson, bassist Roger Rogerson, a classically trained guitarist, and drummer Lucky Layer, a jazz-trained drummer. Layer did not like the name The Bedwetters, so Morris looked through a dictionary of slang words and renamed the band the Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs. The band's first recordings took place in spring 1980, including the original version of Wild in the Streets, which appeared on Posh Boy's first Rodney on the ROQ compilation. In July of that year, the band recorded their debut studio album, Group Sex, which was released in October 1980 on the Frontier Records label. Its 14 songs totaled just 15 minutes. The album featured several songs that Morris had written while in Black Flag. That same year, the group was one of several California punk bands to be immortalized in the Penelope Spheeris documentary The Decline of Western Civilization. Live versions of 5 songs from Group Sex appeared on the movie's soundtrack. In late 1980, the group signed with IRS Records subsidiary Faulty Products and recorded their second album, Wild in the Streets, released in 1982. The title track was a cover version of a song by Garland Jeffries. Faulty Products ceased operations several months after its release, forcing Ciʀcle J<silence>�δs to seek their 3rd record deal in as many years. While they regained the copyright to Wild in the Streets, the original stereo master tape was lost, forcing the band to remix it from the multi-track tapes when they reissued the album in 1988. Later years 1983–1989. They signed a management deal with war producer/manager Jerry Goldstein's Far Out Productions and recorded their 3rd album, Golden Shower of Hits, in 1983. The album was released on Goldstein's LAX Records label. The title track was a medley of 6 cover versions of artists as diverse and unexpected as The Association, The Carpenters and Tammy Wynette strung together to create a storyline of 2 people who fall in love, have an unplanned pregnancy, rush into marriage and end up divorced. Another song from the album, Coupe d'Etat, was used in the soundtrack of Alex Cox's 1984 film Repo Man, which the band appeared in playing an acoustic lounge version of When the Shit Hits the Fan. Biscuits and Liberty were eventually replaced by Keith Clark and Xander Schloss, who also appeared in Repo Man, respectively. The band also changed labels for the fourth time, signing a deal with Relativity Records' metal imprint Combat Records, which had started a punk sublabel, Combat Core. The newly revamped group recorded Wonderful, released in 1985. Their newfound stability allowed the lineup to record a second album for Relativity, VI, issued in 1987. One track from VI, Love Kills, had been commissioned by Cox for the soundtrack of the 1986 movie Sid and Nancy, and was heard in the film. Chris Poland played bass with Ciʀcle J<silence>�dhs briefly circa 1989, after being fired as guitarist for Megadeth. Schloss had left the band by that point. Hiatus 1990–1993. Ciʀcle J<silence>�dhs dissolved in 1990 after Hetson left the band to continue recording with Bad Religion. Live recordings made during what would be their final tour at the time were immortalized in the live album Gig in 1992, their third and last release for Relativity. During the hiatus, Hetson would continue playing in Bad Religion. Schloss played guitar and bass with various acts. Clark initially retired from music. Morris worked menial jobs and battled health problems. He had kicked a long-time dependence on drugs and alcohol in 1988. Reunions and hiatuses 1994–2011. Group Sex Anniversary Shows 2019–present. On November 22, 2019, it was announced that the Ciʀcle J<silence>�hs were going to reunite in 2020 for a number of shows by celebrating the 40th anniversary of their debut album Group Sex, including that year's punk rock bowling. Then COVID-19 struck and caused performances to be postponed until 2021. Three-fourths of the final lineup, Keith Morris, guitarist Greg Hetson, bassist Xander Schloss, will be involved in the reunion. On July 15, 2021, it was announced that former Queens of the Stone Age and Danzig drummer Joey Castello would be joining the Ciʀcle J<silence>�hs on drums. Band members. Current members: Keith Morris, vocals, 1979, 1990, 1994, 1995, 2001, 2011, 2019, present. Greg Hetson, guitars, 1979, 1990, 1994, 1995, 2001, 2011, 2019, present. Xander Schloss, bass, 1984, 1988, 1989–1990, 1994, 1995, 2001, 2011, 2019, present. Joey Castello, drums, 2019, present. Cast members: Roger Rogerson, bass, 1979–1983, died 1996. Earl Liberty, bass, 1983–1984. Lucky Lehrer, drums, 1979–1983. Chuck Biscuits, drums, 1983–1984. Keith Clark, drums, 1984–1990, 1994–1995. Kevin Fitzgerald, drums, 2001–2011. Touring members: Charlie Quintana, drums, 1981, East Coast Tour. John Ingram, drums, 1983, also performed on Golden Shower of Hits sessions. Flea, bass, 1984. Chris Poland, bass, 1988. Ted Pittman, bass, 1988–1989. Doug Carrion, bass, 1989. Discography. Studio albums: Group Sex, 1980. Wild in the Streets, 1982. Golden Shower of Hits, 1983. Wonderful, 1985. VI, 1987. Oddities, Abnormalities and Curiosities, 1995.